Hello, everyone, and welcome. My name is Julie Mann, and I show people how they can live healthy, happy, sustainable lives by changing their habits and using cutting edge products to help them age well. And today I'm joined by the lovely Steph Bonnie. Hi, Steph.
Thank you for having me on, Julie. I feel
Pleasure.
very honoured.
Yes, well, for those of you that don't know Steph yet, she is the co-founder of Stebbington Limited. And today I think you're going to be talking about habits to make your business scalable. Is that right?
That is right. Thank you.
Fantastic. Well,
Because it all,
go on.
I was going to say, well, it all comes down to efficiency, which people don't get as excited about, but they really should, I think, because when you have a business and you obviously want to scale, most people want to grow it, whether it's to a certain point or take over the world. You do need to be efficient, because being efficient brings eliminating the waste, so saving time, which in turn reduces costs and improves your income because you've got happy customers. So you're being proactive. So it's a really, I don't know why, yeah, it's a real to me. It's like, yeah, this kind of comes with running a business. You need to have that efficiency aspect to it.
Perfect. So
Yeah.
just go straight into your habits then, Steph.
Yeah. Okay. Well, one is organizing yourself. Shouldn't be a big surprise, but it's not just organizing that day, it's being prepared, doing it proactively. So, like organizing your week before the week starts. We don't wait until Monday morning. In fact, I used to do it on a Sunday, and I was chatting to a coach, and we actually do it on a Friday afternoon now. So, this afternoon, take that half an hour and plan next week out. And that includes blocking times out on the calendar for things like social media. Obviously, your meetings will be there, but when are you going to do that piece of work that you need to do? Or when do you need to get back to certain customers by? Making sure that you've actually blocked that out on your calendar so that you can be productive. And it also really helps then on a Monday morning, you don't have to think, oh, what do I need to do? You know what you need to do because you've already put the plan there. Now, plans don't always go, accordingly, but without a plan, anything could happen. So that's always my first tip is organize yourself. And I know some people can struggle with this, but there is some fantastic apps out there. And like I said, just blocking out your calendar and having a to-do list can be a massive help. Two, surprisingly, systems. There again, systems don't have to be expensive. You don't need to go straight out and sign up for HubSpot at 500 a month or any of that. There's lots of free software or more kind of slightly of the lower pay bracket kind of software that you can utilize. But you need to know, how are you managing your leads? How are you managing your customers? Is it a project? Whether it's coaching or building a house or just delivering a product, you need to actually manage that. And pen and paper, sorry guys, it's just, no, it's not sustainable. Excel, you could start out maybe when you were starting your company, you're starting your business, but it's not going to grow. You can't, no matter how great an Excel spreadsheet is, there's certain limitations. So you really need to look at the software. There's lots out there. I'm not going to go and name them all, but think about what you need and also what other things it could do. So for example, we're always talking to clients, they're like, oh, well, I've got this software, but I want something that does that. And it's like, well, that software actually does all of that. So really using that software that you have instead of just getting the shiny magpie syndrome and trying all the different ones, get a decent one to begin with that you can actually use. And then if you do, so for example, if you do have a CRM, but you want to use something else like MailChimp, MailLite, and then you've got your accounting software, integrate them. This is really important because you don't need to copy and paste one thing from somewhere else. So say you have a CRM system and you're bringing someone through that pipeline, through the process, and they become a client. What happens next? Do you then have to copy their information over to the accounting software? Do you then manually add them to MailerLite? Because you don't need to, which brings me on to the next one of automation. So automation obviously does what it says on the tin, but it's really it saves you so much time, and it means that your clients can have proactive customer service, which again, I think we can all agree is really nice to have. It makes the customers feel good. It ups your revenue because you're going to get repeat customers because they're going to say, wow, I really like using them. They care. They're there. They're not waiting for me to chase them up. They're proactively reaching out, and automation really can help with And then it's the documentation. So documenting what processes you have, because you might start off with just, oh, it's a very basic, it's fine. But then you're going to keep adding different parts to it, or different funnels, how it all kind of fits together. And you really do need to keep a documentation of that, because if someone then asks you, and you're sitting there going, oh, well, I think that happens, and then that happens, and you could find out you're double handling things. Yeah, so document it down as you go. It would always be our advice. Doesn't have to be fancy process maps. Doesn't have to be anything other than just even a Word document with point 1, 2, 3, and 4. This is what happens, then this, then this, then this. But keep that documentation as you grow, because at some point, if you're going to reach that world domination, you're going to need a standard operating procedure manual. And it's really easy to start when you've already got the information there and you're just fleshing it out, whether starting from scratch when you've been in business for, say, 14 years. So it's a bigger task, one that people like to keep putting off. So that's another one for you. And then reviewing those processes. People don't always do this as often as they should. It doesn't have to be a monthly thing, but I would recommend at least quarterly. So every 3 months looking, or maybe even every 6 months, depending on how quickly your business is growing. But as business growth happens, we also need to review those processes, because what you had in place before just might not be working. Prime example is for one of our clients. She started growing. It's taking her 2 hours to onboard a client. We managed to get that down to 2 minutes, just using that. So organizing, having the systems in place, and automation and integration, putting that all together saved her 1 hour and 58 minutes a client. So it's items like that, again, where being efficient sounds dull, really important. And then outsourcing. You don't have to do everything. There's so many fabulous VAs on the market. I mean, your accounts, you wouldn't sit there and do them yourselves. You would, of course, outsource. So why not outsource those smaller tasks as well? Tasks that might take up your time, but you don't really need to do. As long as you've got the process in place and there's something for them to follow, why not just outsource it? And they're my 7 tips. I feel like I ran through that quite quickly, but that's it. It's the 7 tips of being efficient.
Brilliant. Well, you were really efficient in delivering it.
What a surprise.
You know what? I love that you mentioned about it sounding dull, because that's definitely something that I've thought over the years. Systems, schmistems, yeah, it's so dull, but actually it's very dull if you are spending too much time doing something. So systems make things more enjoyable, don't they?
Yeah.
And you can absolutely be distracted by the next shiny thing. So I really, really appreciate that you shared those habits, and some of them I need to re-look at.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Yeah, thank you so much for having me. I was going to say something. Well, never mind. It's gone. It's gone. It's completely gone now.
While I'm wrapping up, let us know. But basically, if this is the first time you come across Steph, then do check her out. So all of her links will be below this video. So get in touch and have a conversation. So any ideas what it was you were going to say, Steph?
Just about the fact that it is really dull. I know that for other people. Other people do find it dull, but it is, I mean, we love it. 70, that's all we're about. But it is really something to look at. Like you said, it really is. You have to have that efficiency in place and save yourself that time so that you can grow. And it might cost time or money. You might have to start paying 20 pounds a month for a subscription. But if you're saving yourself hours, it's more, how much does it cost not to be efficient? That would be my way of looking at it more is, yeah, are you going to have time to spend 2 hours for 100 clients? Or have you got time for 2 minutes per 100 clients? That's a huge time saving.
Yeah, and even I guess if there are some people that are watching and thinking, well, I don't actually want to scale up. Being more efficient, so you've got more time to do things that you love doing, that makes sense, doesn't it?
Yes, and that was it. Yes, because how many times clients that we work with like that, we help them fall in love with their business because they can focus on what they do best instead of getting caught up with the emails and just the dull admin stuff. No one enjoys it particularly. Don't get caught up in it. Instead, get that system sorted so that you can just focus on what you love doing.
Yeah, I love that. Who doesn't want to love their business?
Exactly.
You know, really take on board the comments that, you know, the habits that Steph has shared. And like I say, get in touch. My links will be below this video as well. So thank you so much, Steph, for talking to us. And thank you, everyone, for watching.
Thank you, Julie.